The general walked past her 50 caliber rifle without slowing his stride. He had inspected hundreds like it across deserts and ranges, steel tools lined in perfect order. To him, this was just another weapon, another station, another nameless soldier standing watch. Asterisk, what city are you watching from today? If this story resonated with you, hit subscribe for more real stories about extraordinary people. Asterisk, then his eyes caught a small piece of metal on her chest, worn low and quiet, almost hidden by the sling of the rifle. His boots stopped. His breath tightened. Time seemed to narrow to that single pin, a symbol so rare that most men only saw it once in a lifetime, if ever. She stood perfectly still, eyes forward, spine straight, hands steady on the massive rifle that dwarfed her frame. Specialist Mara Hale had learned early that stillness was a kind of armor. On this range, stillness kept you invisible. Invisible kept you alive. Mara had arrived at Fort Redstone 6 months earlier, transferred without ceremony, her orders stamped and sealed with language that explained nothing. To the soldiers around her, she was a junior marksman assigned to assist with long-range calibration. She cleaned rifles, logged wind data, and endured the sideways looks that followed her everywhere. A woman near a 50 caliber always drew attention, and not the kind that helped out the rifle weighed more than most of the men who joked about it. They joked about her too. They joked about her size, her silence, the way she never joined their laughter. Mara did not answer them. She had learned that words could betray more than silence ever would. She had grown up in a town where the horizon felt close and the future felt smaller. Her mother taught school. Her father fixed engines until his hands failed him. When she enlisted, it was not for glory. It was for precision. It was for the calm that came when everything unnecessary fell away, leaving only breath, distance, and truth. On the range, she found that calm again. Wind pressed against her cheek. Numbers aligned in her mind. Distance became intimate. Targets were not enemies. They were problems waiting to be solved with patience and respect. Still, respect was not something she received in return. Her superior, a captain who valued volume over accuracy, reminded her daily of her place. He assigned her the heaviest maintenance tasks and the least visible roles. When visiting officers arrived, he placed her at the edge of the formation, as if she might disrupt the symmetry. Mara accepted every order without complaint. Not because she lacked pride, but because pride had taught her when to wait. The day the general arrived, the range buzzed with restrained energy. Inspections always did that. Boots shined brighter. Voices lowered. Mistakes vanished under layers of preparation. The general was known for his sharp memory and sharper standards. He had commanded units that rewrote doctrine and retired legends, who no longer met it. Mara was assigned to Rifle Station 7, a 50 caliber tuned for extreme distance trials. She had spent the morning checking tolerances, verifying torque, and confirming ballistic tables. Everything was exactly where it needed to be, including her. The inspection line moved steadily. Officers spoke in clipped tones. Soldiers answered with rehearsed precision. When the general reached Station 7, he glanced at the rifle first, as expected. He nodded once, already preparing to move on. Then he saw the pin dot. It was small and matte, shaped in a way that meant nothing to most. To him, it was unmistakable. His posture changed, subtle but absolute. He took a step back, then another forward. Closing the distance, he had almost ignored Dot. He did not speak right away. He looked at Mara, really looked at her, at the calm set of her jaw, the stillness that came from discipline rather than fear. That unit, he said at last, his voice steady. Where did you earn that? Mara did not move her head. Regulations mattered. Classified, sir. A ripple of tension passed through the nearby officers. The captain stiffened, ready to correct her. The general raised a hand, stopping him without turning. I thought so, the general said. The range seemed to hold its breath, though Mara did not. She kept her breathing slow, measured, as she always did. The pin had been awarded years earlier after a mission that never appeared in official briefings. A mission that required someone small enough to disappear, patient enough to wait, and precise enough to end a threat from a distance no one believed possible. The general studied the rifle again. "Who calibrated this weapon?" "I did, sir. Wind correction at 1800. "Accounted for, sir. Temperature variance?" "Adjusted in the table, sir." He nodded. "Target deviation on the last trial?" 0.2 mils. Corrected on follow-up." The captain shifted, confused. He had not known she was responsible for those numbers. He had assumed they came from the team lead, the loud one with the confident grin. The general turned to him. "Why is this soldier listed as support?" The captain cleared his throat. "She is still junior in rank, sir." The general looked back at Mara. Rank is not always the same as experience. He reached out, not touching the pin, but acknowledging it with a respectful distance. "That unit taught me a lesson once," he said. "That silence can be louder than command." Mara felt a familiar weight lift, not because she had been recognized, but because she had been understood. The difference mattered. The general addressed the gathered officers. "This range is not a stage. It is a classroom. And this soldier has been teaching without speaking." No one laughed now. No one looked away. He turned back to Mara. "If I asked you to take the shot from maximum distance today, would you accept?" "Yes, sir." "Would you hit it?" "Yes, sir." He smiled just slightly. "Good. Then do not let anyone here make you smaller than the distance you can master." After the inspection moved on, the range slowly returned to its rhythm. The captain did not speak to Mara again that day. Neither did the others. But when the next trial was scheduled, her name was at the top of the list, not buried at the bottom. Mara returned to her routines, because routines were honest. She cleaned the rifle. She logged the data. She waited. Recognition did not change her purpose. It only cleared the path. That evening, as the sun lowered and the range empty, she remained at Station 7. She checked the pin once, making sure it was secure. Not because she feared losing it, but because symbols mattered only when they were carried with care. She thought of the lesson the general had reminded her of, one she had learned long ago. True strength did not announce itself. It stood ready. It waited. It acted when the moment demanded it. Somewhere downrange, a target waited for the next trial. Mara smiled, just enough to feel it. Distance had never scared her. It had always felt like home. What did this story make you feel? Where are you watching from? Subscribe to Soul Relief Stories for more real stories that heal the heart.